I say this with all my heart as a former Republican. Republicans, sometimes you have to lose to win. Did you believe him when he said he was just going to export the criminals, the worst of the worst? Did you believe him when he said he was going to bring down cost and prices? Did you believe him about everything? The worst thing that could happen is not to lose to the Democratic Party. The worst thing that could happen is to slowly give up all the principles that you stood for in support of a guy wearing the team jersey, but who inside is not who you believed the party was.
Donald Trump and MAGA got a major reality check on CNN today as the country begins to turn on the Trump administration. Just take a look.
And I do want to start with the economic numbers that we're seeing in our new poll out this morning. They're pretty brutal. 64% of Americans disapprove of President Trump's handling of inflation. 65% disapprove of his handling of tariffs. 61% disapprove of his overall handling of the economy. On immigration, a majority of Americans, 53%, disapprove as well.
Yeah, 64% of Americans disapproving of Donald Trump's handling on inflation, 61% disapproving on his handling of the economy. These are major issues that he said he could solve and that he ran on during his campaign. And now the American people are realizing that he is a con man. The Trump administration has been abysmal, solving none of the
So I admit, I regret my vote for Donald Trump. I regret it because I needed these changes sooner. I needed the prices to go down sooner so that I didn't drain out my bank accounts and go into crippling credit card debt, so that when I had an emergency, I had money set aside. So when my son's glasses break, I could actually get him new ones.
This cannot be a surprise to you, can it? Trump supporters, Trump voters are regretting their vote. NBC did an interview with a woman who's 63 years old, who's the caretaker of her 26-year-old daughter, who relies on SNAP benefits. I don't know exactly what the girl's issue is, but she relies on these SNAP benefits just to survive, day-to-day survival. She's the 63-year-old woman sitting back and saying, well, why are they doing this with the ballroom? There's $350 million being spent there, and that's supposed to be private donations, which obviously it's not, because Trump came out last week and said, well, the military is heavily involved. That's your tax dollars. That's my...
There is a very interesting shift taking place as Trump rapidly ramps up his authoritarianism, and that is white people flipping the switch from capitulation to resistance. Let me explain what I mean. Since the end of World War II, the white community in America has enjoyed unprecedented wealth and opportunity as a result of a globalized American empire. And because of that, we have been less likely to buck against the system, even when we know that system is unjust, because the system has rewarded us so well. That's called capitulation. And these are broad brushstrokes here. I'm speaking very generally. The black community, on the other hand, because they have always been a target of the system, from slavery to Jim Crow to the war on drugs, they have always maintained a posture of...
In 2 weeks, I'm done. You want to talk about regretting your vote?
I never thought I'd say that, but I regret my vote. I voted for Trump.
I voted for Trump, and I regret it now.
As a Hispanic, I voted for Donald J. Trump. Dude, I regret it so much, man.
I am regretting my vote for Donald Trump.
Who voted for Donald Trump, and now I regret it.
A lot of people who were like me voted for Trump and have to account for that.
I regret voting for Trump.
So deeply regret my vote for Donald Trump.
I regret voting for Trump.
I was a dumbass, voted for Trump. It was the worst decision I ever made.
I've seen the light, and I got out of MAGA. A lot of us there have seen the light. We have deep regrets.
I feel guilty because I voted for Trump twice. I feel very guilty because I feel responsible. That's why he's still running.
I was with Trump for 9 straight years. I'm disappointed. I'm very disappointed in...
So ladies and gentlemen, I'm trusting that you're all doing well today. Welcome to the channel. So guys, in most cases, I feel like we, the people, I feel like we, the voters, we have given these people a lot of power and they've become very, very audacious. Look at what is happening in United States of America right now. A lot of people are lamenting, and people are actually, some of people cannot even imagine that they had a choice to choose somebody else, but they ended up voting for Trump. So this is it, ladies and gentlemen. In most cases, not even in America alone, but in most cases, people tend to vote in terms of ethnicity. People tend to vote in terms of colorism, in terms of, tribalism side of it and all that. But what we don't know as citizens is that one day it is going to cost us. It is going to cost each and every person that actually had the mandate to put in a leader who is, a leader who is self-disciplined, because now we bring it to self-discipline. You have to be self-disciplined and respectful of other citizens, for you to be able to use even the public funds and all that. This is not what the American people expected. They expected to live in, to marry, and they're not having that right now. A lot of people, apparently Trump supporters, they're coming forth and they're like, you know what? I regret why I put myself into this situation, because most of them knew that once they cast that vote to Donald Trump, everything was going to change. That is not the case in 2026. Let me take you back, ladies and gentlemen. In my previous 2 videos, you have seen, I have discussed how inflation is high in America. And some people also who are working, like in a household, you are going to have like 2 people maybe working. These people could be married, not married, or rather just living together. But both of them are working and still they cannot be able to sustain themselves. Why? Because inflation is high. And then we've had like massive layoffs. A lot of international organizations are laying off employees because they cannot be able to sustain them with the chaos that is going on in America. You have just seen what Donald Trump did to Iran. You have just seen what Donald Trump did. The ICE came and raided each and every citizen of America. And this is somebody who you voted for. Let us take it back to Hispanic people. Hispanic people were some of the largest #1 supporters of Donald Trump. You have seen what he has done to Hispanic people. Most of them were actually being deported back to their countries. Some of them are being jailed and without explanation. And you have seen what Donald Trump government did to even kids. Kids were getting detained. And you're like, for what reason? This is who I voted for. This is who you voted for. And right now, everyone is lying on that bed. The bed that people made. And guys, we normally have a choice. I'm not only speaking about America, but I'm speaking about the world as a whole. You normally have a choice. You have a choice to do what is right. But a lot of people loves hands out. Donald Trump comes to your city, to your state, and then he promises you something that is out of this world, something that somebody else has never done. Or even if he promises, these are some things that which could be done rather, because you're looking into a better healthcare facilities, you're looking into better education, you're looking into better security as well. But now, if some people somewhere, they're just fighting, and then you decide to indulge into their fight, what will happen? You are risking the country's security. You have seen Trump has deployed a lot of troops to go to Iran to fight. And those are your brothers and sisters. Those are your fathers. Those are your friends. There's no guarantee that these people are going to come back in peace. Yeah, you have seen like most people died and it has been chaotic, and still he's sending people there. But ultimately, what is happening right now, the people who voted for Trump in America right now, they cannot have peace. most of them are regretting, and they're regretting that they made the wrong choice. So ladies and gentlemen, just in case you're new here, my name is Yvonne. Thank you so much for coming across my channel. I really appreciate, and please guys, subscribe. To my new subscribers, you're welcome to being part of my online family, and to my returning subscribers, thank you so much. Until next time.